So morning, everyone. I'm sorry, I was not recording. Now Christina's here. Let me see, Regifo. Okay, then I will forget. I might forget. Hi, Christina. So welcome back. First of all, let me share the slides for today's session. Just give me 1 second. I am so sorry about last week. I was not at home, as I said before, so my internet connection was terrible. So I really struggled to share the screen, to do everything, but now I'm back where I usually work, so everything will be fine today. I will not have any, hopefully nothing gonna be, and I don't have any issues today. So that's Fanny coming now too. So these are the slides for today's session. So today's December the 23rd, Saturday, and this will be week number 7. Week number 7 will be divided into Saturday the 23rd and December the 30th, okay? So these are the slides for week number 7. Okay, let me share the slides again in the chat so you can have access to this so we can work. Okay, seems there. See, I believe by now I have more students, right? Who did just join now? See,
Yo, Fanny.
Fanny, right? Okay, Fanny, just give me 1 second. I was checking the attendance and I did not have you, but now I have. Let me see, where is it, Fanny? Sometimes I have to make this smaller because then I can see everybody's in here. Okay, so this is where we are. This is December the 23rd, and this is Fanny. Fanny, you are there. So Rocio and Jessie Preciado are here already, right? Rocio and Jessie. Good. Okay, now, so let me go back with my slides. So these are the slides for today's session. Let's make it bigger again. Okay. There you go. Okay. So this is what I had already shared in the chat. And I will be sharing this too on Moodle, but for now you can already access the slides. This is what we have up to now, but let's go back to Moodle once again so we can see where we are right now. And what are we going to be doing today? Okay, so this is Moodle again. So this is our platform. So this is what we have done so far. So far, we have worked unit 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Today, we'll start working on unit number 5, and then unit number 5 will be divided into 5A, 5B, and 5C. And then the last week, which will be on January 6 and 7, we will be working unit 6, and that will be the end of all the units, okay, that we have to cover for level number 3, okay? So this is where we are now, 5A. So unit 5A is, you already have access to see all the topics, all the quizzes. Do not start them yet, right? Because we have to try to work everything together, right? So this is what we have in Moodle by now. This is where we are, unit 5A. Now, what is the topic today? So today we're going to be talking about changes, about how faster are we living now, how different are our lives. If we compare our lives today to our lives maybe years ago, how it has changed, how are we doing things now, how is it different than what we used to do when we were younger, maybe when we were in high school, or maybe when we were not working, as some of you might have to work right now, right? So how lives can change and how are they different today than when they were years ago? So that is today's topic. So that's why the unit is called, Are We Living Faster Now? Okay. So this is just one big city. It might be Guayaquil. It might be New York. I think this is not Ecuador. I think this is, it looks like Europe, right? It doesn't look like Ecuador. So in big cities, usually people live faster, right? We're doing too many activities at the same time. We work, we have families, we have many responsibilities. And sometimes we feel that we don't have time for anything, right? Because our lives goes really fast, right? So these are just people like you or me living in big cities. And this is what the first reading starts. And this is how everything starts. This reading is about the fact that we might be living faster, but is it true that if we're living faster, it means that we're living better than many years ago? So that's the first question. What do you think? Are we really living faster or not?
Yes,
Why? Why? This is
because
interesting.
because now everything is connected, the globalization, and mm, we have, I feel like we have less time for our families or ourselves, and we need
Mhm.
to focus on our goals like school, jobs.
Yeah, definitely. And it might not be true for everyone, right? Maybe for some people, they feel that they are not living as fast as we think, right? But for most of us, I think this might be true because we have many, as you said, everything is globalized, technology, and we feel that we don't even have time for ourselves, as you mentioned, because we have to do, I mean, we have to take care of people, we have to take care of our jobs, we have to take care of our families, and sometimes we think more about the others than ourselves. So this is what the unit is called. Are we living? Or there? No, no. There's no time for anything. Sometimes we might think that it might be true. So this is kind of a reflection, okay, for everyone. So this is what the reading is about, right? But this happens. Do you think this is true about people living in big cities? Or maybe if you live in the forest, I mean in the countryside, you have a different kind of life. Is it true or not? What do you think? Because I know I have students which are not living in Guayaquil, which is a big city, right? I have people who are living in other cities from Ecuador where life might not be as fast as we think it goes in big cities. Who is not living in Guayaquil? I'm asking you. Can you write it in the chat? Because in my last course, I had a student, and she was not from a big city. She was from El Oriente, from the Amazon region of Ecuador. I had another student who he was connecting from Galapagos Island. I had another student, and she used to live in the highlands, which I think is not as, I mean, where I think life is more quiet than in big cities. It might be your case. In my case, I live in Guayaquil, so I definitely think that I am living too fast. So this is what the reading is about. And I would like you to read, there's 6 different facts about this, this feeling, right? About big cities or living in big cities. And then after we read, we have to do something, okay, with this information. So who wants to start reading? Angelita, would you like to read the first one?
Yes, Miss.
Thank you.
Okay. People in cities around the world walk 10% more quickly than they did 20 years ago.
Okay.
Singapore, a world business center, is top of the list for fast walkers.
Fast walkers. So according to this, people in big cities walk faster than people who are not living in a big city. So it might be true. And this, I mean, one of the samples is Singapore. Singapore is a huge city, very advanced, high technology. But according to this article, people in big cities walk 10% more quickly than what they did 20 years ago. It might be true, but according to this, Singapore, which is a world business center, is top of the list for fast walkers. Okay, very interesting. What about number 2? Who wants to read the second one? Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. In the USA, there is a book called 1 Minute, Bedtime Stories for Children. These are shorter versions of traditional stories, especially written for busy parents who need to save time.
Interesting. So in the USA, usually bedtime stories are fairy tales, right? Snow White. Can you name another fairy tale story besides Snow White? So there's Snow White, there's Cinderella, there's Pinocchio, there's The Little Mermaid. These are usually fairy tales, right? That we usually tell children before bedtime so they can go to sleep thinking about the fairies and about the princesses, especially little children, right? But there in the USA, there's a book called 1 Minute Bedtime Story, because a bedtime story might take longer than 1 minute, right? So these are like very short versions of the same fairy tale. For whom? For busy parents, people who don't have time to spend 30 minutes reading to their children. And this is a way of saving time. Okay, interesting. Number 3. Alice, can you read number 3? Thank you. I cannot hear you. Can you hear Alice, Iván? ¿Sí la escucha? I cannot.
No.
No, right? Can you check your audio? I mean, there might be something wrong. Iván, can you help her? Can you read?
Okay, Miss.
Thank you.
Number 3.
Uh-huh.
Okay. People aren't as patient as they were in the past. If the lift takes more than 15 seconds to arrive, people get very impatient because they think they're wasting time. It's exactly the same when an internet page does not open immediately.
So what does it mean? How can we understand this about people expecting to wait for something? What was the lift? I think we already talked about a lift. Remember last week's story about Sven?
Ascensor?
So a lift is an elevator in British, but in American English it's called elevator, but es un ascensor, right? So people do not want to wait more than 15 seconds for an elevator to arrive because they get impatient, right? Oh, it's taking too long. What about an internet page? When you want to search for something, you want to open a website, people do not want to wait too much. If they wait more than 5 seconds, they think that internet connection is failing, the computer is slow. We think everything goes slower, but it's not that it really is going slower. It's that we don't want to wait. We get anxious, we get nervous, we get very impatient. So if it takes more than 15 seconds, we start getting impatient. And we think this might be a waste of time. So we might think that we are not, the time is being wasted, that we are losing time, okay? So that is, according to this article, this can be another sign of people living faster. Christina, can you read number 4?
Written communication on the internet is getting shorter and shorter and using more and more abbreviations like BFN, bye for now, or NP, no problem. Twitter only allows you to use 140 characters, and now a new social networking site has a limit of just 10 words.
Okay, so according to this, what does it mean? We don't even want to write too much. So instead of saying bye for now, we don't type the 3 words. We just type BFN. Is there any other abbreviation that you know people use not to write the whole thing? Have you seen these videos about that some influencers share on the web about get ready with me? They don't write get ready with me. They just write GWRM, right? That would be like the abbreviation, right? Is there any other abbreviation that you know?
By the way,
By the way, yes. So it's BTW, right? By the
Yes.
way. Yeah. Is there any other? OMW, on my way, right? So instead
LOL,
of, which one?
LOL, loud,
Uh-huh.
loud, out loud.
LOL, right? It means laugh, because you might not know, laugh out loud, like this. But be right back, yes, that's right. So what does it mean? B, R, B, right? Be right back. So be right back means that I'll be back soon, right? Be right back. Is there any other? I'm trying to think. Get ready with me. Be right back, on my way. Well, there's many abbreviations, right? Because people do not want to waste time on writing the whole sentence. What does it mean, AFK?
Away from the keyboard.
Away from the keyboard. That's interesting, right? So like, do not write to me. I'm not going to reply because I'm away. I'm not close to my computer, so I'm not gonna be replying, right? Good. So these are some abbreviations, and these might be more signs about people living faster, right? What about number 5? Any other volunteer? ¿Quién más lee? ¿Quién más lee? Said, would you like to read number 5? Please.
yes.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Even in our free time, we do things in a hurry. 20 years ago, when people went to art galleries, they spent 10 seconds looking at each picture.
Mhm.
Today, they spend much less time, just 3 seconds.
That's amazing, right? So people do not want to even, they don't appreciate art, right? So they're like, okay. And then, so less than 3 seconds and they go to the next one, and next one, and next one, and next one. So it might be another sign that we are living faster, right? Natalia, can you read the 6th one? Okay, no, Natalia, just give me one moment. Let me move it. This is what I usually do. I move the picture a little bit so you can read it. Now, I think you can. What about cars? What about traffic? What does it say about traffic, about cars, about driving? Can you read now, Natalia?
Yes, miss.
Thank you.
Number 6, ¿verdad?
Yes. Mhm.
Our cars are faster, but the traffic is worse. So we drive more slow.
Slowly.
The
Mhm.
the av av
The average.
the average speed of cars in New York City is
15
15
kilometers per hour.
kilometers. We spend more time than ever sitting in our cars, feeling stressed because we aren't going to arrive on time.
Do you think it happens in Guayaquil too, in big cities? I think the distance between one place to another place is not as far as it is in the States, right? In the States, people usually have to drive long distances, right? It's not like in here that it might take 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, up to maybe 45 minutes if it's like from the north up to the south of Guayaquil, right? But in other cities, people might have to spend more time sitting inside the car. So they actually spend more time inside the car than the time they spend at home or they spend at work because of the traffic, because of the amount of cars, because of the distance. And so that makes people get stressed, right? Anxious, and it might make you feel that you are not living really as you should be living, right? Because spending too much time in traffic, it is stressing, really stressing. So according to all of these different facts, this is what we have to do. So we have to try to match the headings to these headings to the paragraphs. So which of these from 1 to 5 could be related to these different facts about living faster? So what do you think? What do you think about No Time for Snow White? Which one could it be?
2.
1, yes? Can you help me matching with the numbers in here? So we can write the number next to the paragraph, which summarizes the main idea. So if we talk about No Time for Snow White, which of these facts is related to the fact that parents do not have time to read a whole bedtime story to their kids? And what could be the fact that we do not have time to write? Which of these facts? No time to wait, more time on the road, no time for Van Gogh. So what could be Van Gogh? I think it might be related with art, right? And the fact that people are not really enjoying and they are not really appreciating art as it should be, right? And no time to stop. Good. What about, let me see, No Time for Snow White? Is it number 2? Why? Why is it number 2? Which one could be No Time to Write, for example? Thank you, Eduardo. No time to wait. Let me see, no time to wait. Let me see if this could be true or not. No time to wait. Why?
No Time to Write is
Uh-huh.
number 4. I mean, I think
Okay, why?
because this paragraph talk about
Uh-huh.
abbreviations to
Mhm.
to write in the Twitter, for example.
Yeah. The one that we were giving examples, right? Be right back, on my way, AFK, see you later, LOL. So the fact that people do not want to waste time on writing too much, right? So they prefer just to write abbreviations, right? Good. Why is it, Jessica, number 6, no more time on the road? Why is it number 6, according to you? Jessie? Juanita, why number 5 is not time for Van Gogh, according to you?
Because the
No
people,
time to write is for no, miss. Ese le puse en antes.
Yes, Ronald, thank you. Juanita, I'm sorry, go ahead. I think you were saying something.
because the people don't have so much time to look every picture.
They don't want to spend not even seconds, right, to watch at least, to enjoy the fact that someone spent hours painting something, right? They just look at it like, and they don't care. They keep going. Maybe they take a picture and that's it, right? They keep on going. So they don't even enjoy art as it should be, right? That's my opinion too. Good. So, but Fanny, why is it not time to stop number 1?
Because the people walk 10% more quickly.
Yeah, according to this, in cities like Singapore, people walk 10% more quickly, right, than that what people walk in other cities, which are not as big as Singapore. So it's really interesting, and this is actually the first quiz. So let's go back to Moodle so we can try the first one. Let me see. And that this is unit 5A, right? 5A. Okay, this is where we are. And this is the same article, right? It's exactly the same. So in here, we can try it now. So in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we have the same information, the same statements, right, about living faster now than what people used to do in the past. So you can try it now. Okay, let me see. Okay, that's it. Good. Fernando is working now. Jesse, Ronald. Okay, everybody's trying. Good. Said, Diana, Anita, Angela, and Eduardo. Ronald. Okay. It's exactly the same. And it's just a matter of understanding the basis or the main idea about each of the facts that explains why it might be true, right? That we do not have time, or maybe it's not the fact that we don't have time, it's the fact that we want to go faster, right? We think we don't have time, but I think if you organize yourself in a good way, you might have time to do everything and not being in a hurry all the time, right? So that's the first one. This is the first one. I think someone has the audio on. Okay, there you go. Now,
Miss,
yes.
excuse me. I will turn off my camera for 1 moment, but
Okay.
I will back. I'm not disconnecting from the cast.
Okay. Thank you,
I will
Eduardo.
back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So now, before we go on with the quizzes, there's something else that I want to show you now. And if you read, let's go back to the reading. Let's go back to the living faster. There are different facts, right, that can make us think that we are living faster. So these are called, there's a difference between, for example, there's one where in the first one, where it says that people around the world are working more quickly than what they did 20 years ago. So we are comparing about how people work, how fast they can walk now and the fact that maybe years ago, they did not walk as fast as they are walking today. So this comparison between today and maybe 20 years ago, this is a comparison, right? So we're comparing about people now and people in the past. In English, if we want to use words to compare, it could be compare things, it could be compare people, comparing places, comparing situations. We should use a specific kind of language that it might be called adjectives, it might be called adverbs, or it might be called comparative adjectives, okay? It might help us to do this comparison, right? About how people walk, about the fact that they don't want to spend time on reading, about the fact that people are walking faster, about the fact that number 4, for example, reading communication on the internet is getting shorter and shorter. So we are comparing the fact that now, I'm sorry, we are not writing as people used to write in the past. So this is called adverbs or adjectives, okay? And in here in the book, they have different adjectives and they're used in different ways, right? We have these adjectives: quickly, fast, busy, patient, bad, slowly, or stressed. Now, I would like you to think of which could be the right form. We have 6 different sentences. We have to take if the adjectives it could be the comparative adjectives is being used in the right way or not. So what about we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm sorry. I am coughing too much. Yeah, can you please help me? Can you please you could underline it, you could circle it, but let's read it, okay? What about the first one? Life is faster or more fast than before, which could be the right way of comparing life if we are using adjectives, adverbs, or both. How it should be correct? Can we use just one of them or maybe both? Okay, so according to Patricio, right? Can you read it? Can you read 1? And I think you did number 2. Traffic in cities is more bad or is it worse than it was? Okay, so number 2 is worse. Can someone help me with the third one? Diego, maybe? Everybody is busier or busier with, there's 2 kinds of busier, right? One is with I and the other one is with Y. So which of these might be correct? Thank you, Patricia. Everybody is busier than they were 5 years ago. It might be true, it might be not, but we are comparing, right? We're comparing life, we are comparing traffic, we are comparing how busy people are now than what they were maybe 10 years ago or 20 years ago. What about number 4?
More stress.
Let me see. We are more stressed than our grandparents were. Is that true? What do you think? You can use annotation tool. I think Patricio is using it, right? If you use annotation tool, you can just go like this. Like this. And you can underline it, or maybe you can circle it. Or you can just highlight it as you wish. There's a highlighter too. Let me see. I know there's a highlighter. Let's see. I think it's on. And the annotation tool. Okay, good. Number 5. Who's doing number 5? We do everything more quickly or faster.
Both.
I think it could be both, right? I
Both.
was reading and I was thinking, we can say that we are doing things more quickly and it should be fine. Or we could say that we are doing things faster and it should be fine too. Both are fine. Ambas opciones son viables, son válidas. Mhm. Okay, and what about number 6? People aren't as patient or as patient than they were before. If we want to compare two situations, or we want to compare two facts, we can also use has. We can say people are not as patient as they were before, and it should be the same. Or we could say that people are not patient as they used to be before. Or we could say that people are faster or are living faster than they used to live many years ago. So these two options are fine. Both are fine. But what about number 6? Which one would be fine? People aren't as patient as, or people aren't as patient than? Let me read the chat. We're missing one. Rocio, what do you think? Diana, who wants to help me?
People aren't as patient than they were before.
Usually there's a structure, right? When you are using has, you should say people aren't as patient as, right? So the word as should be used twice because you're comparing one thing with another thing. So it should be this one. Let me underline it for you. And I will share the rules for this. There are some rules that we might follow to make sure that we are writing or we are choosing the right form. So let me go back. Let me go back. Oh, I lost it again. Okay, this is where we are. Let me show you the rules. So these are the rules, okay? This is from the book, and these are comparatives. Comparatives are just is a type of language structure that makes you compare people, and you could say my brother's older than me. So you're comparing yourself with your brother. He might be 30 years old, and if you are 20, you might say that your brother is older than you. So this older than, this is the rule, actually. If the adjective is short, what do I mean by short? It means that the adjective has maybe 1 or 2 syllables. We only add an ER at the end. For example, short. If it's short, it becomes shorter. If it's old, it's older. If it's big, it becomes bigger. But what about big? If the adjectives, the last, it ends with a consonant. If it's big, has big, right? The last consonant will double. Se va a duplicar. So it's not going to be big with 1 G. It's going to be big with 2 Gs, right? So 1 vowel and 1 consonant, we double the final consonant. Estas son las reglas, ¿ya? Si el adjetivo es una palabra corta, ¿qué significa corta? Que tiene solo una sílaba. Simplemente se le agrega ER. But if it's big y termina en consonante, la última consonante se va a duplicar. So it's not big, it's going to be bigger with double G. If the adjective's last letter is a Y, has BC, the last it's not going to be BCer with Y, ¿Qué va a pasar aquí? La última consonante, si es Y, se va a cambiar por la I latina, and then you add ER. Estas son las reglas. And if it's relaxed, ¿qué significa que el adjetivo tiene más de una sílaba? Relax es relaxed. So, no tiene solamente una sílaba, no tiene un sonido, sino tiene más de dos. La palabra es más larga. Then it becomes more relaxed. Ya no se le pone la ER, sino que se va a agregar la palabra more. It's more relaxed, it's more interesting, it's more beautiful, it's more exciting, because those adjectives are longer words. So 2 or more syllables, we add the word more plus the adjective. Ya no se va a agregar ER al final, sino que se va a agregar la palabra more. So it's going to be more relaxed. So these are the rules. Now, comparative adjectives might be irregular or regular. ¿Qué significa que serían irregulares y regulares? A regular adjective is the one that you just add an ER at the end, right? Lo que se le agrega solamente la ER al final. But it might be adjectives that will change completely. If it is good, as the adjectives, in a comparative form, it will be better. If it's bad, it will be worse. If it's far, it will be farther. Entonces significa que cambia completamente. Ya no va a ser good, va a ser better. Ya no va a ser bad, va a ser worse. Y ya no va a ser far, it's going to be further. Esas son las formas irregulares. Estos son algunos, hay muchos más. Which are comparative adverbs? If it's quickly, it's going to be more quickly. If it's slowly, va a ser more slowly. ¿Qué significa? Estos ya no son quickly and slowly, ya no son solamente un adjetivo, son adverbios. ¿Y cuál es el adverbio? Es lo que modifica al verbo, no es lo que modifica ya el sustantivo. I might say, I am walking more quickly. I am working faster. I am walking more slowly. So I am describing the fact how I walk, right? And it could be regular forms and regular forms too. If it's hard, it becomes harder. If it's well, it will be better. And if it's badly, it will be worse. Entonces, estas son las reglas, ¿ya? How do you use these comparative forms? We use them to compare adjectives. You compare adverbs for actions, or you compare less plus an adjective or adverb, or not has an adjective or adverb has. ¿Qué significa esto? Que se pueden utilizar de diferentes maneras para describir personas, lugares, cosas o acciones. Si yo describo cosas, lugares o personas, yo voy a usar los adjetivos, ¿no es cierto? Pero si yo describo acciones, como la acción implica un verbo, un verbo es lo que describe la acción, entonces ya no voy a usar eso, sino que voy a usar un adverbio. Y por eso puedo usar quickly, slowly, harder, better, worse. So these are the rules again. Estas son solo las reglas. Pero las reglas no dejan de ser solo reglas if we don't practice. So we have to practice. And that's what comes next. Now, I have more information about each of them. The 1 syllable, the 2 syllable, the 3 or more syllable, and the irregular adjectives. Entonces aquí está un listadito, ¿ya? Como una pollita. So in here, if it's long, it's longer, right? If it's tall, it becomes taller. If it's big, it becomes bigger. If it has 2 syllables, ¿cuáles serían los que tienen 2 sílabas? Honest, crazy, happy, gentle, famous. En esto ya no se va a agregar solamente la ER. Es probable que aquí, si es famous, ya si tiene 2 sílabas, ya va a ser more famous. Si es honest, ya va a ser more honest. If it's happy, no va a poner more happy, solamente happier. If it's crazy, it becomes crazier. If it's gentle, it becomes gentler. If it has 3 or more, ¿cuáles son los que son más largos y lo que todos se les va a agregar la palabra M-O-R, more, just the word more? Expensive, dangerous, popular, beautiful, confident, difficult. A este tipo de adjetivos, que ya la palabra es más larga y tiene más sílabas, es el que se le va a agregar la palabra more. More beautiful, more difficult, de acuerdo a la regla. ¿Cuáles son los irregulares? Los que cambian completamente. Good, better, bad, worse, far, farther, many, more, little, less, far, further. Esos son los que cambian totalmente. And these are the practices. Okay, let's practice. So let's just get out of the rules. Now we know the rules, but let's work the rules. Okay, let's use them in real different practices. So let me see. Let me share the link with you in the chat. So this is the link. And let me share it in here. Okay, if you want to access from your computer, please do it. Haga la práctica. Do not just follow me. And if you want to do it on your own, do it. But now you can help me. Okay, so what about, we have these different adjectives, but now we want to use the comparative form for each of them. So what about nice, tall, warm, ugly, big, beautiful, cold, small, expensive, and cute? So these are all adjectives, but they are not going to be just adjectives. Now we're going to use them as comparatives. So which could be nice, for example?
Cuter.
Oh, cute, cuter, right? ¿Por qué se pone solamente la ER, por ejemplo, on cute? ¿Por qué será solo cuter?
Porque termina ya en E.
No porque termina en E, sino porque la palabra es cortita. Cute. Entonces solamente sería cuter. Por eso cuando cuando el adjetivo es corto, la palabra es corta, tiene una o dos sílabas máximo, simplemente se le pone la ER. Y ahí termina el asunto. But what about nice?
Nicer.
Nicer. Porque es un adjetivo corto. Entonces, nice becomes nicer. Uy, sorry. I could say, my friend Nadia is nicer than my friend Laura. And I am comparing two people because I'm using the word nice, right? And it should be fine. What about tall?
Taller.
Taller. Porque es un adjetivo corto, solamente se le agrega la R. Y ahí terminó. Warm.
Warmer.
Warm. También. Warm, ¿qué significa warm?
Cálido.
Ajá, no es como caliente, sino es como tibio o cálido, no. No así tan caliente ni tampoco frío, como un intermedio. Warm. I might say that the weather is warmer than yesterday. Puedo usar la palabra para describir el tiempo, el clima, que es un poco más cálido. Ugly. So what about ugly?
Uglier.
Uglier. Pero ¿por qué se cambia? Según la regla, acuérdese que si la palabra terminaba en Y, si usted la usa en una comparación, ya no va a poner la Y. Cambia la Y por la I latina y le pone la ER. Y ahí, esa es la comparación from ugly. What about big?
Bigger.
Bigger. Pero como big termina en una consonante, duplica la última consonante y le pone la R al final. ER. And it becomes bigger. Beautiful.
More beautiful.
More. Why is it more beautiful and not beautifuler?
Es more
Because-
porque tiene más de 3 sílabas.
Porque tiene más de 3 sílabas. Como es una palabra más larga, beautiful. Entonces ya no voy a decir beautifuler, digo more beautiful. Y esa es la regla. What about cold?
Colder.
Colder. ¿Ya? Es un adjetivo corto. Para de contar. Smaller. I mean small. I'm sorry.
Smaller.
Ya la
Smaller.
dije. Smaller. También termina en doble L, entonces ya no hay que duplicar nada, solamente hay que agregar la R. Nada más. Expensive. More expensive. Why? Because the word expensive is a longer word, right? No es una palabra de una sílaba ni de dos. Expensive. 3 sílabas. That's it. Wait, espérame. And then you can check if they are fine or not. Usted revisa, si usted quiere lo vuelve a hacer en su casa. Hágalo las veces que usted quiera. But please do it. Because believe me, this will help. Let me see, there's one more. Let me see, let me share again the link. Is there anyone who wants to share the screen and not me? Maybe someone, anyone. Miss, mejor yo comparto porque usted es muy lenta. I don't know. I don't mind. Because I want to practice. And I just don't want to be following you and just reading or looking at the screen. Or you like to someone. No, anyone? Juanita, Christian, Iván, maybe. Alguien que diga, no, yo comparto. No, anyone?
Yo, Miss.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's the second. I don't know if I shared the link. Did I share the link? I think it's this one. Okay, no, yet that's right. Veronica has just realized that we have classes. Well, what can I say? It happens. But she's not that late anyway, right? It's still 10 o'clock. Okay, what about the first one? Ivan, what do you think? So we have the sentences and we have the comparative forms, but we only have to match according to the sense of the sentence or according to the statement. This box is than the one I lost. So we're comparing boxes. We are saying that this box is. So which of these comparative forms can we use? Can we say that it was smaller, taller, bigger, larger, higher, or faster?
Maybe bigger.
Could be bigger. Okay. Bigger. Is there bigger? No, but oh yeah, we have bigger. Okay. Could be. Vamos a ver. Okay. What about
Miss,
China? Ronald.
faster China is than Italia.
Faster. But do you think it's faster?
Larger.
It could be larger. China is larger than Italy. Porque estamos maybe comparando not how people are living, if they're living faster or not. Maybe we are comparing the fact that China is a larger country in dimension, right? En la extensión de could be than Italy. Italy is smaller, I think. It's not as big as China.
Y faster my house in that house.
I think it could be Esteban, as they were saying in the chat. Let me see. I think that was Patricio, right? Esteban is taller than Juan. Es como que estuviéramos comparando la altura, ¿no es cierto? Que dijéramos, Esteban is taller, porque puede ser que sea más alto, is taller than Juan. It makes sense. Okay. And what about my house? My house is
Smaller.
smaller than hers. Could be. Que estoy comparando mi casa, ¿no? I'm comparing my house than Juana's house, for example. I might say my house is smaller than hers. Your dog runs
Faster.
faster than Jim's dog. Could be. And the rock flew higher than the roof. Okay. And then when you click on enviar respuestas, you can check if it was fine or not. So in here, once you check that there's two that are not correct, you click on mostrar respuestas, and then it will show you how it should have been. So I think in here the mistake was that the box, can you click on respuestas correctas? I think, yeah, that was the mistake. This box is smaller than the one I lost. Okay. China is bigger than Italy and my house is larger than hers. Okay. The word bigger and larger es bastante similar porque bigger es como algo mucho más grande y larger también se refiere a algo grande, pero tal vez se lo utiliza más en una edificación que en el país, ¿no? Tal vez en ese sentido tenía, that's why it was not bigger. Pero entendíamos el sentido, ¿no? Que estábamos comparando algo que era más grande. Maybe the word was not the right one. But there's one more practice. Hay una práctica más. Hi, Vero. Are you here? So I think Veronica is here now, right? Good. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing your screen. Now there's one more. Let me see. One more. There is one more. Let me share the link again in the chat. Okay. There she is. There she comes. Veronica. Okay. Now let me share my screen now. Okay, this is where we are. This is another practice.
Hi,
What about
Miss.
this one? Hi, Vero. Good night. Good afternoon.
I'm late. Sorry.
Don't worry. Thanks for being here. What
I
about
am
this
late.
one? We're practicing Vero. My English is
Better.
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 maybe better. Gooder, ya sabemos que ese gooder no estaría bien. Y more gooder tampoco, porque good es irregular y good se convierte en better. Entonces, gooder, no, nunca. Ok. The Nile River is than the
Longer.
Amazon River. Longer. Ya sabemos que no es more longer. ¿Por qué no es more longer? Porque long es un adjetivo corto, por lo tanto, solamente se le agrega ER, and that's it. Vamos, otro. Joseph is than your brother.
Taller.
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 Pare de contar. Taller. Okay, one more. Mario Vargas Llosa is than Karina Pacheco. I don't know who's Karina Pacheco. But I think they're
More
writers,
popular.
right?
More popular.
More popular. They might be writers, but Mario Vargas Llosa is more popular than Miss Pacheco. Digital television is than LED television.
Older.
Older. Ya, no es more old, porque old es un adjetivo pequeño, entonces solamente es older. The weather today is bad,
Worse,
or
worse.
badder.
Words.
Worse. Porque bad es un adjetivo que si se lo convierte en un comparativo es irregular y ya no es badder, sino es just worse. Next one. The CD is to use than a cassette.
Easier.
Just easier. Good. Who is it participating? Vero.
Me levanta las.
Vero ha venido con todo. The iPhone 14 is
Better.
Better.
better than the
Better.
Galaxy S23. Good. See, your PC is than my laptop.
Less new.
Ajá. More new? No. New,
No,
no estamos
new.
comparando. Less new than my laptop. And that's it. También podíamos usar less y también estamos comparando. Electric cars will be than gasoline cars in the future.
Safer.
Safer.
Yes, because if cars are not using gasoline, they might not, they cannot burn, right? Because they might just disconnect and they might lose electricity, but it might be safer. Podríamos evitar tantos accidentes, ¿no? That's it. Thanks for using the chat, Patricia, always. And so this is kind of the practice prior to trying the quizzes on Moodle, okay? So now we can go to Moodle. Let me see if we are ready. Yes, I think we are. Okay, let's go. To Moodle. So we did the first one, right? We did only the reading activity about living faster now. And now we are gonna be practicing grammar. And in here we have some comparative forms, right? But the first one is just to identify if the words are adjectives, adverbs, or if they can be used in both forms, right? If they can be used as adjectives and as adverbs in these different statements. So this is the first one. What about quickly? Is quickly an adjective or an adverb? And I think we only have to use the check mark, right? What about quickly? Is it an adjective or an adverb?
Adverb.
It's an adverb, right? Quickly. Because I might say, I am working quickly, I am walking quickly, I am reading quickly, and I am describing an action, right? Not just a noun or a person. What about fast?
Adjective.
It's an adjective, right? But fast could be an adjective and it could be an adverb too, I think, because I can say that I am eating fast, I am reading fast, I am writing fast. So it could be an adverb too. Okay, what about busy? Is it an adjective or an adverb?
Adjective.
It's an adjective. Okay, what about patient?
Adjective.
What about bad?
Adverbs.
Okay, it's an adverb. What about slowly?
Adjective.
Slowly, it could be, I think slowly could be an adverb because I can say that I am running slowly, I am eating slowly, right? Let me see the chat, adjective. But it could be an adverb too. I might say that someone is, but in here, slowly, when you add ly, it becomes an adverb. Es como lentamente, but lentamente is, it might be something related to an action that you are looking slowly, you are walking slowly, you are thinking slowly, you are talking slowly. It's mostly for actions. And what about stress? Is it an adjective or an adverb?
Adjective.
It's an adjective. Okay, let's see if this is fine. Maybe you did it already. Let me see, that was just let me see someone who has done it before. Okay, let me see Christina. Christina, okay, the first one is an adverb, fast. It could be both, see? Busy, patient is just an adjective, bad is just an adjective. Slowly is an adverb and stress is an adjective. And that's it. Okay, so that is the first one. Let me see if everybody has finished this for now. Let's see. This is the first grammar quiz, right? Jacid is done. Fernando, maybe you lost the time, right? But maybe Fernando is trying it again. Okay. Said, Gaby, Diego, and Patricio. But I think I have people missing in here. ¿Quién no lo ha hecho? Juanita, I think you haven't tried this yet. Oh, no, Juan is done. Ronald, let me see Ronald. Ronald también ya lo terminó. Said, let me see Said, ya lo terminó. Vero, I don't know if Vero is here. Diana, let me see Diana. Ángela. Angelita. Diana. Okay, Vero, you're back. Vero, we are on Unit 5. Para que sepa por dónde estamos, ¿ya? So on
Okay,
Unit
Miss.
5, we did the reading activity. That was the first quiz. We already did it. And then now we are doing the first grammar quiz. Okay, estamos aquí en el primerito, 2A. And this is what we are checking now. I'm trying to see if everybody has done this. Cristian Litardo is doing it now. Anita Polit, what is it, Ana?
I'm here, pero estoy en otro ejercicio. Me aplasté
Okay.
mal.
Okay, maybe the one before. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, Anna, I know you'll catch up soon. Let me see. This is where we are, 5. So we did the first grammar practice, and this is one more, and this is 2B. This is the second grammar practice. Let me see. Okay, we can try to do this one now. We only have to add a check mark on the right form. So what about this? What about the first one? Alice, what do you think? Life is faster or more fast than before? No, anyone? Cristina, Joel, Gaby?
Faster.
Faster, right? Faster. Es facilísimo. Wait.
Miss, tiene que bajar o subir un poco porque como el tiempo va directo al visto, es como que no puede agarrarlo.
Sí, tiene que desplazar un poquito.
Ok, aplasto aquí. No.
No, no.
No, usted suba.
Suba o va. El donde dice tiempo restante no tiene que estar al ladito del visto, porque si no,
Ajá. No lo puede agarrar. Suba la página, como que sube el este. Ahí, eso, exacto.
ahí sí,
Ya,
ahí
ahí sí puede.
Mira esto. Look at this trick. I didn't know this. I thought I just could grab it and then just grab it wherever I want. Okay, so I have to go a little bit up and then I can grab it. Okay, good. Thank you. What about number 2? Traffic in cities is more bad or is it worse than it was?
Worse.
Okay, so
Worse.
okay, now I can grab
Worse.
it, right? Worse. Porque no es more bad, no existe. Eso no existe. Everybody is busier or busy with Y or just with I than they were 5 years ago.
Bush.
Busier.
Busier, right? Pero no con Y, con I latina. Ajá, porque acuerdo a la regla, se cambiaba, ¿cierto? Ya. We are more stressed or we are stressed than our grandparents were.
More stress.
Ese stressed no existe, por si acaso. Pero bueno, ahora ya lo sabemos. Number 5, we do everything more quickly or faster.
Both.
It could be both, right?
Both.
Yeah, it could be both. Good. What about 6? People aren't as patient as or just as patient than they were before.
As patient as.
As patient as. Ese cuando decimos as patient as, es realmente, ahí es la comparación. Porque decimos, it could be as patient as fast as. Estamos comparando dos cosas. As patient as people 20 years ago. Pero ahí está realmente la comparación. Pero si usáramos el than, ya no usáramos as. Ya dijéramos solamente people are more patient than they were before. Entonces, por eso la correcta es la primera. That's it. Thank you, guys. Joelito, ¿cómo va? Anita, Gaby, Fanny, Patricio, Eduardo. I don't know if Eduardo is here. I think he said he will be right back. Jesse.
I'm
¿cómo
back.
están you're back.
Yes.
Juan José, ¿cómo está? Jesse. ¿Cómo va? Patricio. Are you doing fine? If there's something that we should go back, something that it was not clear, please let me know. Cristina is doing it now, Juanita, Jessie and Rocío. Jessie y Rocío no las veo. You said present, but I don't see you doing the quizzes. Okay. Okay, let me keep going.
Sí estoy haciendo la actividad.
Yeah,
recién
okay. Yo estoy ahorita ya en modo policía.
Present, Jessie.
Present,
Y
Jessie.
lo que pasa es que estoy en una conferencia también del hospital y por eso no enciendo la cámara.
Ah, ok. Ya yo dije, está, no está. Ya, pero sí está. Yeah, so that was 2A and 2B, right? These are the, just the theory or the rules. And this is one more. And here there's not just check marks, and here we have to write, okay? So what about this one? Write sentences with a comparative adjective or adverb plus the word than. New York is more expensive than Miami. Okay, so we have to take a look at the adjective or the adverb. If it is an adverb, how we should write the whole sentences. But if we are comparing two different situations, how this comparative form should be used. Okay, what about the first one? Modern computers are much
Faster than.
Faster than the early ones, because the modern computers are much faster, right? Good. Number 2, my sister is
Taller than me.
taller than. Siempre ese than es lo que hace que se compare. My sister with me, right? She's taller than me. Number 3, Fernandito. Patricio. Oh, no, Patricio, you cannot turn your audio on, right? Anita, Joel. I am this week. Busier, right? B-U-S-I-E-R. I am busier this week than last week. Good. Number 4, Yasid. Newcastle is
Faster.
But it's not fast, it's far. Okay, so how do you write far? Further, right? So Newcastle is further from London than Leeds. So they are comparing Newcastle with Leeds, right? They're saying that Newcastle is further from London than Leeds. Están comparando como las distancias somehow in London. I thought the third Men in Black film was
Worse
than the first two. Sometimes you compare, right? The second version or the sequel, right, of the first movie, and sometimes you think that it's not as good as the first one. Manchester United played
better
than Arsenal. I don't know about football, but I think Arsenal should be another football team, right? I don't know that much about soccer. The French exam was So how should be written? Harder, right? Good. Harder than German, the German. So the French exam was harder than the German exam. So we're comparing two exams. ¿Cuál fue el más difícil que cuál? Okay. My new job is it correct? Than my old one. Is it right? Like this?
More boring than.
It's more boring than my old one. And what about number 9? My new apartment is
bigger
than my old one. Good. And 10, I'm not lazy, I just work
More slowly.
More slowly. It's not that I'm not lazy. It's just that I work more slowly than you. I think it's not. Slowly, like this, right? Okay, I think now it's fine. More slowly than you. So that's it. So and while you try this one, the next practice, I don't want you to do it in here in Moodle because I think we might have to practice it in the slides. Because it's a little more complex than just writing boring or harder or bigger or older or taller. It's a little more complex. So let's do it in the slides. So everybody can help, okay? Okay, I'll show you. This is where we are, right? These are the rules for the comparative forms, right? So this is what we already practiced. This is what we did with adverbs and adjectives. And this is the grammar bank, okay? So right now, we just did the first one. So in the grammar bank, there's always two practices, right? We did the 5A, and now we have to do 5B. But in 5B, we have to rewrite the sentence using, so they mean the same. So if the sentence says James is stronger than Clive, we have to rewrite it in a way that it means the same, but in here we have to use has to compare the two different situations. So let me read the first one. James is stronger than Clive, right? Ahí en la figura se lo ve que James es bien super fit, right? Unos brazotes. And Clive is not, has. So, ¿cómo lo podríamos decir? Pero de otra manera, pero comparando. So, we might say that if we're using the comparative form, it's easy, right? Clive is stronger than Clive. Tuquísimo. Chévere. But what about Clive? How we can compare Clive with James? We might say that Clive isn't, is not, has strong, has James. And it should mean the same. Va a tener el mismo sentido, solamente que usamos la comparación de otra manera, de otra forma. Como ya no vamos a usar solamente el comparative adjective, sino que vamos a usar el has. It's not has big, has tall, has strong, has. So this is what we have to practice now. So in here, I need help from you. I want you to practice. But we are not going to use this slide. I have another slide for this. Oh no, I don't have another slide. We can do it in here. So because we already have the space, right? Number 1, Adam is shorter than Jerry. So how can we rewrite this? We have to say that Jerry isn't
as short as Adam.
Jerry isn't as short as Adam. Y estamos comparándolo de otra manera, pero tiene el mismo significado. Can you write it? Aquí es donde quiero que ustedes me ayuden. Can you write it down? So let's write it down in here. So by the time we have to go back to Moodle, we are 100% sure that this is fine. Y no nos vamos a equivocar. Okay. So I think this needs like extra practice, not in Moodle, because Moodle has like just 6 minutes. And in here we have more time to practice. Ok, ahí los voy a hacer un poquito más ancho ya, para que no salga tan chiquita la letra. Because it might not be enough space, right? Okay, let me see. Good. Adam is shorter than Jerry, or we could say that Jerry isn't as short as Adam. No estamos cambiando el sentido del adjetivo, el adjetivo lo mantenemos, solamente que decimos que no es tan bajito, ¿no es cierto? We're saying that Adam is shorter than Jerry, Or we're saying that Jerry is not as short as Adam. Y el significado de la oración no cambia, el sentido no cambia. Pero igual estamos comparando. Okay, let me see. What about number 2? Your bag is nicer than mine. Or I can say that my bag isn't. I think you're writing, so that's why I'm not. Number 3, Tokyo is bigger than London. Or we can say that London isn't has Tokyo, right? What about 4? Tennis is more popular than cricket. Cricket is a sport that is mostly played in the UK. It's a kind of sport that they use a little ball and they use kind of a racket, but it's not tennis. It's kind of it's similar to tennis, but not the same, but it's called cricket. So tennis is more popular than cricket. What about number 5? Children learn languages faster than adults. That is a fact. They learn much faster because they're kids. Their brains are fresh. Their brains are not, they have not stored as much information as adults already have. So children learn really fast, really fast. If we try to learn something as an adult, it's not gonna be as fast as how children learn. Let me see, that's number 6. I work harder than you. Or, thank you, Juana. You don't work as hard as me. And the sense of the sentence is the same, but we're doing another kind of comparative. Good. England played better than France, or France didn't. Who wants to try number 7?
As good as French.
It could be good or it could be well in this case. Because why is not good and well? It would be the right one because we are not using an adjective. And here, this is an adverb. Porque lo que se describe no es England. Lo que se describe es cómo jugaron. Se está describiendo la acción. Cuando se describe la acción, ya no se usa un adjetivo, sino un adverbio. Entonces, ¿cómo sería? England played better than France, or France didn't
play.
Ajá, didn't play, has.
England.
As good.
No era good.
No.
¿Qué se usaba en vez de good? France didn't, ay, espéreme. Didn't play, has, will, has,
French.
England, right? Porque ya
Claro.
estamos diciendo France.
Hablando de French.
Ajá. Y ahí sí estaría bien. Déjame moverlo un poquito arriba. Ahí sí. France didn't play as well as England. Or England played better than France. Okay. Let me see. I think there's someone still writing. What about number 2? Who did number 2? I think number 2 is still there. Patricio. What about number 6? Oh, number 6 was done by Juan. Okay, what about number 4? We're still missing number 2. ¿Quién me ayuda? ¿Quién me ayuda? Your bag is nicer than mine, or your bag isn't, has.
As nice.
Your bag isn't.
As nice.
As nice. Has. Mine, right?
Mine.
Okay. Good. Now we can go back to Muru. Okay, ahora sí vamos. Vamos. See, Moro. Okay, espera un ratito. Just give me 1 second. Let's go back to Moro. Okay, this is where we are. So we are on Grammar Bank 1B, right? Rewrite the sentences so they mean the same. O sea, que no se pierda el sentido, but we're using has. Okay, again, so this is the same. So now you try it. Let me see. Yasid is done. Good. Said. And Said is trying again. Angela is trying again. Oh no, Angela is trying now. Good. And everybody else should be trying this already. Okay, let me see once again. Okay, there's only Christian, Jessica, Cristina, Diego, good Diego, Angela, but I'm still missing. I'm missing Ana. I'm missing Diana Salinas, Diego Suárez, Eduardo, Iván. ¿Dónde está Ronald? Fanny, Fernando, Gaby, Jesse, Joel, Juan José, Patricio. Patricio should be done. Let me see, Patricio. Let me go back. Vamos a regresarnos. And then let me go again. Okay. Ok. Ahora sí, ya estamos todos. Gaby, Ronald, Diana, Jessica, Cristina, Diego, Angelita. Okay. ¿Quién más me falta? Me falta Diego. Where is it, Diego? Dieguito. Natalia. Me falta Joel. Joel sí está. Joel, I don't know. I don't see you. Natalia. Alice. Where is it, Alice? Alice no la veo tampoco. Ok. Sí. I think there's something else. Okay. I'll wait. I'll keep waiting. Okay. Let me share the slides again. Maybe you want to go through the slides one more time. So what about number 2? Your bag is nicer than mine, or it could be that your bag isn't as nice as yours, right? Because we're comparing my bag, your bag with my bag. So if I want to compare them again, but in a different way, I should say that my bag isn't as nice as yours, right? Tokyo is bigger than London. London isn't as big as Tokyo. That's Diana. Good. Tennis is more popular than cricket. Cricket isn't as popular as cricket. Or cricket isn't as popular as tennis. That would be the right one. children learn languages faster than adults. Adults don't learn as fast as children. And it should be the same. It should mean the same. Okay, vamos a ver qué es que ha pasado. Go back. Let me see, how are you doing this? Okay. It's Grammar Bank 1B, right? See. Let me see your attempts to see how well you did. Jessica del Peso. Okay, Jessica, Christian. Okay, Patricio. Let me see what happened with Patricio. What was the mistake? You don't work as hard as me. It's not as I do. Why not I do? Because we're not using the word do, right? We're just comparing that you don't work as hard as me, right? Good. Pero ya sabemos que estuvo mal. France didn't play. Why is it not correct? Because if we are using the auxiliary form, we should not add ed at the verb, right? It should be just play. Ya el ed ya no se pone porque ya está usando el auxiliar, entonces ya no es necesario. En realidad lo demás estaba bien, as well as England. Pero ahí le dice por qué estuvo mal, pero igual no está de más hacer la aclaración. But you can try again, Patricio. Juan José, ¿dónde está Juan José? Oh, Juan José is trying again. Anita, Christian, let me see what happened with Christian. Oh, no, Gaby, this is Gaby. Gaby Macías. Adults don't learn languages. Has.
En language.
Ah,
Qué bueno.
ay, sí, sí. Aquí ya no es ni siquiera la comparación, sino pues bueno.
Sí.
Pues bueno, ya. Learn languages as fast as children. Ya no importa.
Miss, ¿podría darme un intento? Es que el primero se me cerró.
On that one, let me see. Let me see. Gaby, right?
Yes.
Gaby, let me see. Jessica, Gabriela. Oh, the first one. Okay, you have 143. Is there anybody else who wants me to, give you another chance? Anybody else? Christian? Because I know Christian should be trying again. Ya, pero en la segunda le fue bien. Gaby, Ronald, ¿cómo está Ronald? Ronald está intentando ahorita, ¿no? And Fanny, yeah, okay. I think most of you are done. Okay, while everybody else finishes this last quiz, right? There is something really important about all this practice, and it's not really much about grammar, because grammar, everything is important, right? But the most, the basis of this interaction, of these sessions, is that you practice speaking, right? As you know, in the final exam, the reading, writing, listening, or grammar section will not be as important as the speaking component will be. And I am using comparative already. So the speaking practice will be 80% of your final grade. So since it will be 80%, it's something that we have to focus and we have to really practice, okay? So I want you to think about how your life has changed over the last 3 to 5 years. Maybe some of you were still in high school, right? Ni siquiera estaban en la universidad todavía. Maybe, right? You were in high school. Maybe some of you did not have a partner, right? Maybe you have a boyfriend now and you did not have a partner 5 years ago. Maybe you did not work and now you are working. Maybe your lives are more difficult than what it was 5 years ago because you still were living with your parents. Maybe you are on your own now. because you have to work and study. So how your lives have changed? Do you spend more time or less time doing these things, and say why? So let me read it for you. Are you spending more or less time working on studying, sleeping, getting to work, cooking, sitting in traffic, shopping, talking to friends, eating, meeting with friends, using your phone, being online, or using your computer? So do you spend more time doing these activities now or not? Do you have more or less free time? Why? What don't you have time for nowadays? What would you like to have more time for? So this is something that I want you to think about, and there's something else I want you to do with these questions, but this is on the slides. So let me show you now my slides. Okay. What do I want you to do now? This is the grammar practice, right? This is done. Now, this is the speaking section, which I think is really important. How your life has changed, how it has changed from how it was 5 years ago to how it is nowadays. So think of this, and we're not just going to think about it. Sometimes when you want to say something in English, it is hard, it's not easy, because you need words, right? How can you say something if you don't know the words that you have to use, right? Or the language you have to use. So I want you to write sentences. So this might help, right? If you want to explain something from your own ideas. I am busier now than 5 years ago. That is one that I wrote. I think I'm busier now than 5 years ago, because 5 years ago, I did not have as many responsibilities as I am right now. So maybe that's me, but I want you to use your own sentences, okay? And let me duplicate the slide, because I might not have enough numbers for all of you. So I want you to write one sentence, solo una. Do not use Google Translator. Si usted utiliza el traductor, you will never learn, porque el traductor lo va a hacer todo por usted, y ese no es el chiste, right? So try to write one sentence. Mire que no le pido que escriba una carta, un email, un ensayo, just one. And then you can use that sentence, and then you can explain why. Do you think your life is different now than what it was 5 years ago? Let's go back 5 years. No 3, vámonos 5 atrás, 5. Poquito más atrás. Maybe 5 years ago, you were not married, and now you are married. Maybe 5 years ago, you did not have any children, and maybe you have children, and your life is different. Okay? Someone said, Miss, do you have any questions? Juanita, Ivan, Eduardo, no? Or was it funny? Ronald, Angela, Alice, Natalia, Rocio, Vero, Jessie, Cristina, Yacid. I'm naming everyone. Ana, Joel, Fernando, Patricio. If you cannot turn the microphone on, at least you can write. I know you can write, right? And Jessie. How your life are different today? Maybe you were not in the university. Maybe you did not know what career you were going to study, right? Maybe. Maybe you did not work, but now you're working, so you are busier now. Maybe you think you had more time to spend with your family, and now you don't, because you're busy now. You're busier now. I did the first one myself, but I want you to, you can use as many comparative forms as you want. And then I want you to explain why. Okay, good. I am
Me,
funnier than now than 5 years ago. Yes, Vero.
por ejemplo, si yo quiero poner I am, sería I am worker than 5 years ago. Worker or work.
Oh, you could say, I am working harder now than 5 years ago. Como que estoy trabajando
I
más.
am working harder now.
Maybe because now, because 5 years ago, maybe you did not work. Maybe you were just a student, but now you work and you have to study.
Y si quiero poner menos, tendría que poner less.
I am less stressed now than what I was 5 years ago. Como que tengo menos estrés. But now I want you to explain why.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Said. Said, why do you think you're funnier now than 5 years ago? That's interesting.
Because I have more free time than use for playing with my friends or chat
Nice.
with them.
Nice. That's good. So your life has changed, but not in a negative sense, right? It has
Yes.
changed for the better, which is good. Right, good. Because we might think that everything now is worse than how we were 5 years ago. But it might not be true, right? For some of you, it might be better. Why we have to think always to think negative, right? I think that is a positive thinking, and I'm really glad that your life and you feel funnier now than because you have more friends, because you're less stressed, because you have more time to spend with your friends, which is good. Good, Said. Said, can you name somebody else? So we can ask. Who?
Patricia.
Patricia, but we don't have a Patricia here. Oh,
No,
Patricio. Okay, Patricio. Okay, thank you. So Patricio, why do you think that you're taller now than 5 years ago? Oh, but you cannot use the audio, right? Can you use the chat, Patricio, so you can explain? You can use the chat. Okay. Ronald, why do you think you're more stressed than 5 years ago? ¿Qué me le han hecho?
Estresado ahorita, pues.
But why? Why do you think you're more stressed now?
Ayan is happy Christmas estresado.
I know, because Christmas time, it is stressing for everyone. Why is Christmas time stressing? It's supposed to be, you know, happy time and, you know, everybody's loving each other, partying.
Este mes de December es much.
It's too much. December, yeah, it's too much. We have a lot of holiday parties. We have the Secret Santa. No sé si ustedes jugaron el Amigo Secreto, but you have to think about the presents. You have to spend money on presents, think about the presents. The traffic is horrible everywhere in Guayaquil is horrible. If you want to go to buy, if you want to go buy something in the shopping centers.
I have buy the price.
Oh, the prices are higher. Yes, in December, nothing is on sale, right? Nada hay descuentos. There's no sales, no hay ninguna oferta because they want to charge the highest price because they know people, I mean, the demand is higher for everything, for food, wines, turkeys, presents, clothing, shoes, toys. y la lista sigue. So,
Y I asked, walk the street. Ahí estar con 5 sentidos ahí caminando en la calle.
on top of that, there's a lot of, the thieves, right? Tiene que estar un ojo aquí, un ojo acá, un ojo allá. Pues, it's dangerous too, right? So that's a good point, Ronan. Very good point. Yes. So that's why
Okay,
that
okay.
makes people feel more stressed, right? Good. Excellent. Christina, why do you think you're less boring than 5 years ago?
I think because the situations that happen in my life,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I think that my life now is more crazy. So I think
It's not boring. So
no,
boring, not anymore.
no.
It's interesting because you're busy, right? You're busier than how you were 5 years ago. Maybe 5 years ago you were still in high school, right? Oh no.
Yes, yes.
So when you are in high school, you don't have to worry about you don't have too many responsibilities, right? Your parents do everything for you. You don't have to think about the food you have to buy, the rent you have to pay. If you have to buy your own stuff, right? You have to pay for your phone because your parents pay everything. So your life is less stressing. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But it happens to everybody. Let me see, Fanny, what do you think you're busier now than 5 years ago? What are you doing now different?
Well, before I am just a student, so I don't need to do something.
Yeah.
And now I am a student of university, and I have to work.
Work and study, right?
Work and study.
So now maybe you have to do your cooking, right? You have to wash your clothing, tiene que hacer laundry. You have to clean, you have to pay, you have more responsibilities than 5 years ago because being a student, and when you are a student, you think, oh, your life is miserable, it's horrible, but you have no idea what comes next when you're an adult and you're on your own, right? Being on your own and means ser independiente, right? Being on your own means that you have to do everything for yourself. Nobody will be doing anything for you. Nadie le va a lavar la ropa, nadie le va a cocinar, nadie le va a limpiar, nadie le va a decir, yo le pago el celular, la mamá o el papá. So it will be completely different. So that's why you might think that your lives are more difficult now. But this is how life it is, right? It happens to everyone. So you know what? Let's have a break now, okay? Because it's just 11 and we can still work on this speaking practice when we come back from the break. There's more things that I want you to write about and I want you to share with me, but we can keep working on that when we come back from the break, okay? So let me just